Rev up your engines! You don't see that many Honda pickup trucks, but the Ridgeline is very popular amongst people who are looking for a pickup truck like this, especially Honda owners. Now, this is an earlier Ridgeline. It's an 06, it's still running, so it's on the test of time. The early ones, they were made in Canada. So this is a Canadian Honda pickup truck. Right there, it's a little bit on the odd side. And Honda themselves admitted they built these things mainly for Honda owners. The 18% of Honda owners who wanted a pickup, they wanted to be able to have Hondas in the driveway and in the garage that were just all Honda products. So they made the Ridgeline. You can see they've all got a short bed on them. They're not a giant long pickup truck. They come in 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. In this case, it was 4-wheel drive because he lived in New York and he had it in college when he went to UB, same place my wife graduated from. And you can see, yeah, the fender's rusty in here, and that's from New York salt on the road. The ones I saw when I was in Texas, they didn't have any rust on them. But the early ones, they weren't salt coated very well for anti-rust, and they will rust. You want to check them out if you're looking at a used one. But on the other hand, when we go under this thing, trailer hitch is rusty. Well, we'll check the undercarriage. And even though it's got superficial rust, hey, it's still got a nice solid frame to it. Now, for a pickup truck, got a lot of room in the back seat. And when he flips this up, he used to take all his friends' gear and everything from New York City to UB when he went to school. You can haul quite a bit of stuff with this. He said he never got stuck in a snow in Buffalo, and it snows a lot there. And you can see, there's various things you can do with the 4-wheel drive system. This is why you like cloth seats. This is an 06, but they're still in excellent shape. And sure, we've got a little tent action going here with the headliner, but that's often what happens. You can have them done over if you don't want to act like you're in a tent, but your kids will love it. Kids ride in here, they can pretend they're in a tent while they're going down the road. And we'll start her up, see what she sounds like. It's a Honda, it starts right up. Now, it didn't come with this vibrating seat, but he added it in. You can hear it. He wants a little massage while he's going down the road. Not that bad of an idea. As you look under the hood, you get a lot of room. It opens up wide. Ultra reliable Honda VTEC 3.5. They do have timing belts, as I say. You got to replace the timing belts every 100,000 miles. But they're pretty reliable vehicles. They share this engine with a lot of other Hondas. The pilots with these Ridgelines, they share like 79% of the same parts. They're basically taking the Pilot. They made a little pickup truck out of it, and especially the later years. These earlier ones were made in Canada, but then the newer ones, the second generations, are made in the United States. They're very similar to the Pilots. Of course, the Pilots are an SUV, but they share the engines, transmission, they share all kinds of parts on it. They're not trying to compete with Ford F-150s, with GM Silverados, with Dodge Ram trucks. They're their own brand. They're a Honda pickup truck. Honda, of course, started with small cars. Small was always their thing. When they made their first big vehicles, they didn't even make them. They were just rebadged Isuzus. And they said Honda on the plastic, but they were completely Isuzu made. And after a while, they gave up with them, and then they went to making actual Pilots, making actual little pickups out of them, the Ridgeline. They really don't have anything to do with the Isuzus whatsoever. That was just Honda thought they needed something big, so they bought it from Isuzu, and then they stopped the whole relationship and built their own, which are relatively bulletproof vehicles. Now, he's the second owner of this Ridgeline. He bought it 15 years ago, and he now has 106,000 miles on it. And rightfully so. He wants to know, should you get all the bodywork rust cut off, new metal put in, and repaint it and fix it, because the price of the average new vehicle is now $45,000, or is it too far gone and he needs to get another vehicle? So, we'll get out the old computer to check it out first. So, we'll plug in a little scanner, start checking things out. Computer's looking all this stuff up. We'll take a look around. I really like the dash setup because I'm old and it's huge. You see the tachometer, you see the speedometer, the mileage, the temperature gauge, and the fuel. The main things you want to see, they're right out in the open. You can't miss them. And he's modernized. As you can see, he's got a backup camera that he hooked up to the thing. On automatic scan, all systems. Here we go. It's going to check a lot of stuff. It'll take a little while. But he wants to know, is this thing worth putting a little money into, fixing it up, doing the body work, taking the rust off, or is it time to say goodbye? So, while it goes through the 47 different systems that it's checking out. While we're waiting here, the windows all still work. It's a Honda. The AC still works. And while we're waiting for the computer to do its thing, this particular model have a recall for sometimes the back frame gets rusty, the fuel tank can get loose and come off. It's a recall that you can take it to the Honda dealer, replace things that have totally rotten away. So if you're looking at one of these, get the VIN number. Go to the National Highway Traffic Safety.gov website. Put in the VIN number. It's free. You can do it on your phone. And you'll see if it's one that's under the recall, or if you own one, take it in and see. They're going after them for rust problems in the back. You can see this says the fender rust problem. Particularly one didn't look bad. I whacked on a gas tank. It's not loose or anything. But it is a recall that you could take it in for. We're 15 out of 47, and so far there's 0 trouble codes. Now it's done all 47. Now it has found 12 trouble codes. 5 of them are the body control module, and 7 of them are the tire pressure monitoring system. Now, a car this old, I don't expect the tire pressure monitoring system to work. Get a tire pressure gauge, check your tires every once in a while, because you got to buy all the sensors. The system itself can go out, it could cost a fortune. Tire gauges don't cost much. You can check it yourself, but we're going to look at the other codes first. We're going to look at the body control modules. We're going to diagnose it. Typical communication is lost between modules. I see this all the time. Headlight switch, parking, circuit position, malfunction, but the headlights work. Everything works. And in this case, it has an aftermarket radio in it. When you put them in, a lot of times that messes with the body control module. So we really don't care. He doesn't care. That has nothing to do with whether he's going to keep the vehicle or not. So we'll clear these. And the tire pressure monitoring, it's got codes for the sensors aren't working right. You don't care in an old car like this. You can blow all that stuff off. Just get a tire pressure gauge and measure your tires. You can't trust them when they get that old. You spend a fortune on just a stupid thing. They can easily check the tire pressure yourself. So I've cleared all the trouble codes. Now they're done. We'll take it for a road test after we look at the main data of the engine. So start up. You still got 117 bits of data. We'll start looking at stuff. It's color coded. If it's off, we'll see. Fuel turn on bank 2 is 1.11. That's almost perfect. That's like 99%, which is pretty good for an old car. Look, the lambda is 0.99. 1.00 is perfect, and it goes between 0.99 and perfect 1.00. Pretty good for a 16-year-old vehicle now. See how efficient Hondas are. Charging system is even computer controlled on this whole thing. You can see the alternator's doing 38%. Now we'll turn the headlights on, and look, it goes up to 42. That shows it's putting out more power when the headlights are on. It needs more power to charge. Gets you a little bit better gas mileage, that's all. More efficient system. It's not just a simple alternator does the charging. The computer controls the whole thing. So you thought, oh, it's a 16-year-old vehicle and it's not computerized. It's still real computerized, baby. And you can see all the cylinders, no misfires, running perfectly. So let's take it for a spin. Here we go. And as you see the backup camera, he told me he added it in for $250 at Best Buy, because back in the day he said the Honda dealer wanted $5 grand for doing that. It's a nice high up in the air truck. We got my big bump here, and we don't really have to slow down. It's 4-wheel drive. Now, being 4-wheel drive, he's got relatively aggressive tires, so if I shut up, you can hear the tires are humming a little bit. That's just typical. You're going to get that in any truck with aggressive tires. So let's see what this old girl can still do. We'll step on the gas. It's a Honda V6 engine. It's still got plenty of oomph left. The transmission shifting extremely smooth under high load. I gotta say, it's still in excellent shape. There's no arguing that. Still takes the corners quite well. Interesting intersection. There's no stoplight anywhere. Listen to that engine. Still solid as can be. Still an excellent truck. Hey, it's not competing with the big boys, but Honda didn't make it for that. It's still one of the most reliable pickup trucks out there. It's just that it's a Honda pickup truck. Not an extremely large one, but an extremely dependable one. Now, if you hit the brakes hard, the steering wheel shakes a little because the rotors are warped, but hey, it's just normal wear and tear. No odd noises. This thing's still in really good shape, other than that superficial rust. Because back in the day, They didn't code them right. Older Hondas do have a tendency of rusting if you're in New York State. So what do I think? I told the guy, he should keep it. If he wants, he could put front brake rotors on. But he was worried about the noise. And like I said, extremely aggressive tread pattern, right? It is four-wheel drive. You can take it in the snow, in the mud. When you're on the regular highway, they tend to make a lot of noise because they're aggressive. They're biting in more. And that also will lead to a little bit lower gas mileage because since they're more aggressive, they put out more friction. Friction is loss of energy, so you get a little bit worse gas mileage too. But for an old vehicle, other than the rust on the side, this thing still got an awful lot of life. They're not competing with the big boys with these pickup trucks. They're competing with somebody who wants a smaller pickup truck with a lot of room inside that can last a really long time. And this one certainly has. And it's still somewhat luxurious the way it rides. It rides a heck of a lot better than a Ford Ranger, I'll tell you that. So if you're looking for a little pickup truck, you can find one of these. The only thing I say is check it out for rust first. If it is rusting away, you pretty much walk away from the thing. But if it isn't, these things are like plain old Hondas. They can last an awful long time, get you decent enough gas mileage. It is a pickup, it's not phenomenal gas mileage. But then again, it's not like a Toyota Tundra or a big F-150 that's going to get in the low teens gas mileage. It's decent enough for its size. They don't sell that many of them. They don't make that many of them, but they sell every single one they make. So they'll kind of give you an idea that it's in a niche, kind of all by itself. And the people that want something like this, they're generally totally happy with it. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.